This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Raquel Johnson.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you a person with a disability in seeking employment and in need of support? Well, I have someone that's closer than you might think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Andrea Todaro with the Innovative Placements. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, Raquel. I really loved that jazzy intro that you had. That was fabulous. I loved the lead-in. It was great. And I'm just so honored to be here with you today. Beautiful weather in Western New York, so we can't complain about that. And just happy to be on the air with you and sharing my business.
Well, we're all very excited to learn about the services that you have. So can you first just give us a little intro into your company?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am the president of Innovative Placements. We've been in business for a little over 20 years in Western New York, and we specialize in job placement for people with disabilities. So that's specifically what we do. We help people with disabilities find employment, and we're a partner with the New York State Department of Education's Adult Career and Continuing Education Services, Vocational Rehabilitation, which is long for Access VR. And a lot of people have heard of Access VR. If they have a disability, they're already enrolled. And if they don't know about Access VR, they really should learn about it. And they're more than welcome to call us and learn a little bit more. And we also are partners with the New York State Commission for the Blind.
Wow. So what led you to want to start this service specifically for those with disabilities? How'd you get into this industry?
Yes. Well, it was born out of a desire, to really help humanity and to really grow myself professionally in the field of human services. And I just kind of fell into it very comfortably through a friend back in 97. I absolutely loved working with people with disabilities in group homes as in direct care work. And I just adored the role because it integrated everything that I enjoyed doing. So it integrated the marketing component of getting out and meeting with area employers to promote the merits of hiring people with disabilities. It also really helped me to get in there and understand the human condition a little bit more and develop more of a level of a sense of humanity and humility for humankind. So I developed my own character through it, I believe, and just do really meaningful work and work with brilliant people, because people with disabilities are often incredibly brilliant, incredibly capable. And in fact, I would love to have shirts made that said, "Don't diss my ability" on them, that say that, because I think, they all have abilities. They all have abilities. And that is really the message that we want to get out today, is how capable and how incredible this population is, and what an untapped workforce it is, what an untapped, brilliant and capable part of the workforce that, really needs a little more recognition in our community. So, and a little more awareness. So that's how I got into it. I just felt that it integrated everything I loved. And then about 21 or 22 years ago, I branched out and started my own business and decided to work as a contractor with the state organizations that originally employed a lot of the job candidates and everything. So it was an incredible experience to actually branch out and start my own business and to kind of be able to hold the reins a little bit more and really be creative and innovative, hence Innovative Placements.
So what would you say are some of the common misconceptions that people might have about people with disabilities in the workforce?
Right. And, I think that we're conquering a lot of those. And I feel like employers now do have more sensitivity awareness and, certainly are trained and educated in the realm, especially human resource managers that, are affiliated with the Buffalo Niagara Human Resource Association and other organizations. So I would say there is more awareness. However, I do find that lots of times there are misconceptions about the capabilities of people with disabilities, what they are able to accomplish, and that they view them as, they're often a marginalized, part of the workforce that, is viewed as maybe slower, less reliable, a workers' comp claim issue in the making or something like that, a problem in the workforce. People, I remember an employer years ago affectionately referred to them as the bruised fruit. And he said, I view them as the bruised fruit. I will hire them. But it was kind of an analogy, that a little bit of an archaic, mindset analogy that we're really trying to dispel. They're really polished and capable. They just happen. I feel like there's almost a level of self-awareness sometimes that they have that the general population may not. They are more tapped into, turned on by their abilities, but also more aware of their areas of their weaknesses and how they want to improve upon those weaknesses sometimes. And also a disability can be a unique strength. They have a unique sense of empathy, a loyalty and dedication, a sense of work, a firm work ethic. And just, to that end, we have hired people through our organization. So one of the things that I like to tout and that I'm pretty proud of is that all of the workers, our assistants that work as resume developers and interview coaches and job scouts and job coaches, they all happen to have a disability and were affiliated at one point with the organizations we work with. They were originally job candidates that we hired many moons ago, 10 plus moons ago, in fact, 10 years ago, I should say. That's probably the best way to put it. Our interview coach has been on board for around 10 to 11 years, and she is fantastic. And so are other workers. And they've run circles around some of the candidates that we hired, some of the employees that, were from the general population. And they have that unique empathy and that unique work ethic and that ability to really get in there and roll their shirt sleeves up and care about the population we're working with.
Well, that's beautiful that you've incorporated these concepts also into your own hiring practices. And so how do you attract your clients that you work with? Like, how do you identify those that you are able to work with?
Right. So we obtain referrals through the state organizations that I mentioned, the Access VR program and the New York State Commission for the Blind. So they are the source of our job candidate referrals, or we call them participants. And they will pre-screen and evaluate for appropriateness, and then they refer to us or another local agency that's appropriate to serve that individual. And we provide soft skills training in terms of interview coaching and job clubs and meet the employer sessions, networking opportunities. So we do a lot of that. And then we can do work readiness skills training in addition to job development with them as well. That's a whole other can of worms we could open for another time. But yeah, and then we help them craft a good cover letter, resume, give them a letter of recommendation, create a job search plan, and help to promote them in the community with employers. So a lot of it is activism, community outreach, sensitivity awareness with area employers. So we work on the employer end in trying to find the right match, and we also help people with disabilities hone their craft. We might help them obtain additional training or offer suggestions for certifications, but often Access VR takes part. They're the ones that take credit for the training and sponsor their education. And then when they graduate, say we have a 24-year-old gentleman who is on the spectrum and who has just graduated in computer science, computer engineering, and then we help them find a job upon graduation. So and we help them with all aspects. It could be even motivation, organization. If they have ADHD, we help them with their organizational skills. So a lot of it is soft skills as well. So when our placement success rate, I should add, I know you didn't ask this question, is 94% for those who last at least 6 months on the job. So we are proud of that stat. And even in kind of a difficult job market, somewhat impermeable in certain fields for some of our folks, it is very competitive right now, especially in the IT realm, cybersecurity, all of that.
And is there any age requirement in terms of people that are applying that want to work with you? Do you have a minimum age that you would need in terms of clients? Or
Sure. Well, typically, I would say they would have to be. It's interesting because I have had people who are still in high school or maybe 17, 18, and are just graduating, but usually it's a high school graduate, recent graduate, or college student. So I would say probably 18, but I have had those that were a little bit younger. So, but on average, 18 would be the age.
Okay. And can you please tell our listeners one thing that they should remember about innovative placements and or working with those with a disability?
Right. Well, I would just say that hiring people with disabilities is good business for the company. I think it's a social responsibility, of course, to help anyone. And people will say help the underdog. I don't believe they're the underdog. I believe they can be top dog. We've seen people, they start off and maybe they're a paralegal assistant when they first start working. And then I see them 10 years later and I don't even recognize them. They're propped up against their brand new car and, they look amazing in their business suit and they've taken off 25 pounds and they say, yeah, I'm running the company now, Andrea, or I'm now in a leadership position and I'm actually in this position to hire people from innovative placements. So, do you have any participants for me to hire that would be of interest? So, a lot of them assume leadership positions, and people with disabilities, it knows no creed, nationality, name, status, socioeconomic status. Anyone can have one. I happen to have fibromyalgia, which, again, can be a little problematic. I find workarounds, but we all have strengths and limitations and weaknesses. And some of us, I think the people I work with just happen to recognize that a little bit more and really are into their own betterment and improvement. And that's what I love about what we do, is that we're always polishing, we affectionately refer to them as the diamonds in the rough. I think a lot are diamonds, and just polish them a little bit more and polish ourselves in the process of doing so. We're all learning and growing, including us as an organization, learning and growing to the best of our ability.
Beautiful. Well, Andrea, I truly enjoyed learning about the work that you're doing specifically within the disability community. It's needed.
Thank
sure.
you.
It's so
Thank
needed.
you so much. Thank you. This has been so much fun, Raquel. You made it very easy, very effortless. And, it's been a magic carpet ride. I have to say, it's been a lot of fun. It hasn't been without its challenges, but the challenges have been exciting because the passion and the drive is there to make a real change in the community. And I feel that our folks know that we love and adore them, and we believe in their potential. And we've had people come back to us too, as well. We've had, those that are, ready for a career change 10 years down the road. They want to come back, and we're happy to serve them, honored to serve them.
Well, Andrea, we can tell, it's so obvious how passionate you are about your work. And we truly wish you and Innovative Services, Innovative Places. So sorry.
That's okay. We provide services. We are about job placement, but also other services too, work readiness. So it makes sense. And maybe we'll become Innovative Services because we are branching out. Maybe you've taken us to the next level intuitively. But Raquel, thank you. Thank you.
And before, I'm so sorry. Can you please share the best way for our listeners to get in touch with you if they're interested in working with you outside of, I know you have agent placements, but is there any other way that they can connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, they can go right to our website, and we have all of our services, all of our information, of course, listed right there. And that is ipswny.com. So Innovative Placements, WesternNewYork.com, ipswny.com. Or you can call me at 716-566-0251. All right. Happy to talk with any person with a disability or any employer. We're always excited to meet employers in the community and work with them and partner in different capacities.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for being on, and we wish you the very best of luck moving forward.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you. And I hope to stay in touch with you. If I can help in any capacity, let me know. We'd love to partner in the future. And you've been a fabulous host today. Really appreciate it. Okay. Have a great day and enjoy the sunshine.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpbuffalo.com. That's gnpbuffalo.com. Or call 716-995-4421.